Well, thanks all of you for coming. I recognize a few of you from last week, so I'm glad you came back again. And I think this is a great way to end the day. So let's just take a few full inhalations and exhalations just to find some stillness after the busyness of getting here to our cushion or chair, wherever you are. So you can take a really full inhalation, exhalation without exaggerating. So just whatever feels comfortable. We'll do 3. So then try to pay attention to how you're sitting. If you're sitting on the floor, you can just make sure you're sitting up as tall as you can comfortably. If you're sitting in a chair, you want to make sure that your feet are flat on the ground and your back isn't touching the back of your chair, just so you don't get a little too comfortable. And you can think about an invisible string pulling up from the crown of your head, like your vertebrae are like coins stacked up, and that little string you can pull up and tilt your head forward slightly without exaggerating. You know, it's the end of the day and everybody's been busy, or the beginning of the day for some of us, but so without exaggerating and feeling comfortable in how you're sitting. This is a short practice, so I don't think anybody will fall asleep. So we can just take it easy. So tonight we're going to do purification based on the 4 opponent powers, and we'll be visualizing Vajrasattva. And we'll have an image on the screen of Vajrasattva. And so you can glance at the image. I won't go too much into detail about the image itself because you can look at it so that you'll be able to visualize if you choose to close your eyes while you're doing the practice. And then also, so the first power, the power of regret, is, to me, that's like the juiciest part, kind of generating that genuine feeling of regret, because I feel like that really helps you when you get to the final power of resolve. If you've generated a strong regret, then it also helps you to generate a strong resolve as well. So, and then tonight I was doing some reading earlier, and a little, it's like 2 paragraphs, quote came up from LAMA YESHE about regret. So I just thought to read that quickly because I feel like sometimes that sort of helps me if I get some idea of regret from one of my teachers. It helps me to generate it even more. So I'll read that now and then we'll start in with practice. So LAMA YESHE says, so the point is this: generally speaking, regret is necessary, but you see, to live the life with regret alone is not enough. The purpose to feel regret is to do something. The purpose of going to check in the hospital, to go to check with the doctor, is to recognize whether you have disease or not, whether you are healthy or not. So if one doesn't have disease, then one can enjoy the life being healthy. And if one does have disease, then one can take treatment before the condition becomes out of hand, out of control. That doctors, Nobody can do anything, you see. Before coming to that point, so you can take treatment and get better. So by recognizing, by finding out that one has disease, there's uncomfortable mind. So generally speaking, for the common people, there's uncomfortable mind or upsetness. But you see, there's this thing that you can take treatment, because one doesn't want, after one has found out that one has disease, one doesn't want to experience that, you see. Then one doesn't want that. So one takes the treatment to heal, to recover the disease. So you see, there's like this here in the teachings of the Buddha, it is different. There's always a method, you see, because having created negative karma, by recognizing that, by seeing the shortcomings, you should regret. You feel guilt or regret, but there's always a method to what to do. In the Western culture, you should understand this difference, because there's no method what to do. So therefore, you see what method is presented, is taught, is to think, I'm okay. There's nothing wrong with you. So if you don't tell this, you haven't got another method. So this you should understand, you should analyze. For a short time, it's okay, but to say, I'm okay, there's nothing wrong with you, that's okay for today, for some hours. It's okay, you'll feel happy. But how long can it last? If you really think those negative karmas, what the person did is there, does that really purify? Does that really make those things to not exist in the person's mental continuum? Now, this negative karma, we've got to do something. That is collected on the mental continuum. We've got to do something. We've got to clean that. We've got to purify that. So if nothing is done, that gets piled up and piled up like mountains. Then because of that, the problem will come out. The person will experience the life problem again and again and again and again, because the negative karma is there. So like that. So just something to think about in terms of when you're generating regret. So you can start thinking about specific actions of your body, speech, or mind, or you can think in general of negative actions of body, speech, or mind, and just start to develop this regret. If you don't purify these past negative karmas or these past actions, then you will definitely have to experience the suffering results. So if we don't want to experience the suffering results, we have to purify. So just using logic like that to generate regret. We can take a few minutes for that. So you can think, I regret from the depths of my heart whatever harm I've caused to others with my body, my speech, my mind. I don't want the future suffering. So what can I do about it? Just like Rinpoche said in the quote I read, if you find out you have a disease, you have to think about what you can do about it. You can't just pretend it's not there. So, so we go to the power of reliance. So who can we turn to? When we're sick with a disease, we turn to a doctor. And in this case, we turn to the Buddha, who has these methods of purifying. So we can visualize Vajrasattva above the crown of our head. He's made of radiant, blissful white light. And sitting cross-legged. His face is very beautiful, young, 16 years old. I've shared the image on the screen. And then we'll do the refuge 3 times. To the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha, I go for refuge until I'm enlightened. By this practice of meditating on Guru Vajrasattva, may I reach Buddhahood so as to benefit all sentient beings. To the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha, I go for refuge until I'm enlightened. By this practice of meditating on Guru Vajrasattva, may I reach Buddhahood so as to benefit all sentient beings. To the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha, I go for refuge until I'm enlightened. By this practice of meditating on Guru Vajrasattva, may I reach Buddhahood so as to benefit all sentient beings. So in order to develop compassion, we need to rely on other beings, the beings that we've harmed, the beings that have harmed us, by developing compassion for them. So we want to think in particular about them, the beings we've harmed and the beings who have harmed us. And make a strong aspiration to do this purification practice for the benefit of all these beings, thinking you must purify for their sake. So if at the beginning you were thinking about a particular incident, you can also bring in at this point the particular people involved, and that can sometimes help you to have a stronger feeling too, if you visualize the people. Either the person who you harmed or group of people, or yeah. So then we'll go to the power of the remedy, which is the actual medicine. So this is there's 3 stages to this, and we'll do a little visualization and we'll recite the Vajrasattva mantra. We'll recite the long mantra 3 times. And at home, if you aren't comfortable reciting the long mantra, you can just recite the short mantra, Om Vajrasattva Hum, and just do that as many times as it takes while I'm reciting the 3 long mantras. So first, we're going to do the purification of the body. So with Vajrasattva at the crown of our head, you can think of this white nectar that's coming out and into the crown of our head, and it kind of forces out, kind of like a fire hose, pushing down, filling us up, and pushing out any of the negativities out through the lower orifices of our body, kind of as like this inky liquid, which melts into the earth, with no residue left. It just completely disappears. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Denopa Tita Dido Mebawa Sutokayo Mebawa Supokayo Mebawa Anurakto Mebawa Sarva Siddhi Me Prayatsa Sarva Karma Sutsame Chirem Shirem Guru Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sarva Tata Gata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabawa Ma Samaya Sattva Ahum Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Denopa Tita Dido Mebawa Sutokayo Mebawa Supokayo Mebawa Anurakto Mebawa Sarva Siddhi Me Prayatsa Sarva Karma Sutsame Chirem Shirem Kurum Ha Ho Bhagavan Sarva Tata Gata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabawa Ma Samaya Sattva Ahum Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Denopa Tita Dido Mebawa Sutokayo Mebawa Supokayo Mebawa Anurakto Mebawa Sarva Siddhi Me Prayatsa Sarva Karma Sutsame Chirem Shirem Kurum Ha 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 O Bhagavan Sarva Tata Gata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahum Pe. So then you can be delighted. All the harm that you've ever done to any sentient being with your body has been completely purified. So purification of speech. So again, Guru Vajrasattva happily sends powerful nectar from his heart chakra, comes in through the crown of our head, filling our entire body. This time it fills you up from the bottom all the way up and cleans all the negativities of speech. This overflows through the upper part of your body and disappears into space, completely disappearing, not one atom left. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Denopa Tita Dido Mebawa Sutokayo Mebawa Supokayo Mebawa Anuraktu Mebawa Sarva Siddhi Me Prayatsa Sarva Karma Sutsame Chirem Shirem Kurum Ha O Bhagavan Sarva Tata Gata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahum Pe. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Denopa Tita Dido Mebawa Sutokayo Mebawa Supokayo Mebawa Anurakto Mebawa Sarva Siddhi Me Prayatsa Sarva Karma Sutsame Chirem Shirem Kurum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sarva Tata Gata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabawa Samaya Sattva Ahum Pe. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Denopa Tita Dido Mebawa Sutokayo Mebawa Supokayo Mebawa Anurakto Mebawa Sarva Siddhi Me Prayatsa Sarva Karma Sutsame Chirem Shirem Kurum Ha O Bhagavan Sarva Tata Gata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabawa Samaya Sattva Ahum Pe. So you can feel like your speech has been completely purified. Every single little bit of gossip, divisive speech has all been cleared out. So third, we can work on the purification of mind. So we can visualize Guru Vajrasattva sending powerful beams of light from his heart chakra again, which come and enter through our crown chakra, filling our entire being. And it's as if a light's turned on. So there's darkness with the negativities of mind there. And then when this laser light enters our body through the crown of our head, it's like switching a light, all the darkness disappears. So all the attachment, anger, depression, resentment, any negativities of mind are completely dispelled. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Janopa Tita Dito Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Supokaya Mebawa Anurakto Mebawa Sarva Siddhi Me Prayatsa Sarva Karma Sutsame Chirem Shirem Kuruhum Ha Ha Ho Bhagavan Sarva Tatakata Vajramami Mutsa Vajrabhama Samaya Sattva Ahum Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Danopa Tita Tito Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Supokaya Mebawa Anurakta Mebawa Sarva Siddhi Me Prayatsa Sarva Karma Sutsame Chirem Shirem Kuruhum Ha Ha Ho Bhagavan Sarva Tatakata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabhama Samaya Sattva Ahum Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Denopa Tita Tito Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Supokaya Mebawa Anurakta Mebawa Sarva Siddhi Me Prayatsa Sarva Karma Sutsame Chirem Shirem Kuru Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sarva Tatakata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabhama Samaya Sattva Ahum Pe. So again, you can feel delighted. All of those delusions are completely purified. Not a single atom is left. And then just to be double sure, we'll purify even the imprints of all the negativities of body, speech, and mind. So this last time, we'll imagine Guru Vajrasattva sending light again, completely fills you through the crown of your head and eradicates even the teeny tiniest imprint of negativities from our minds, of body, speech, or mind. So it's like cleaning the vessel out, cleans all the last little bits. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Denopa Tita Dito Mebawa Sutukaya Mebawa Supokaya Mebawa Anurakta Mebawa Sarva Siddhi Me Prayatsa Sarva Karma Sutsame Chirem Shirem Kuru Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sarva Tatakata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabhama Samaya Sattva Ahum Pe. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Denopa Tita Tito Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Supokaya Mebawa Anurakta Mebawa Sarva Siddhi Me Prayatsa Sarva Karma Sutsame Chirem Shirem Kuru Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sarva Tatakata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabhama Samaya Sattva Ahum Pe. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Denopa Tita Dito Mabawa Sutukaya Mabawa Supokaya Mabawa Anarakta Mabawa Sarvasiti Me Prayatsa Sarvakarma Sutsame Chiram Shiram Kruhum Ha O Bhagavan Sarvatatakata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabhauma Samaya Sattva Ahum Pe. So now you can feel completely purified. Even the tiniest little imprint has been removed. So then the final step is the power of resolve. So this is where you get to make a determination not to engage in those negativities again. And really important to be realistic here. If something that you're purifying is something that you do often, you might want to make the determination not to engage in that activity in the next 5 minutes even. Whatever you think that you can do realistically. It's really important to keep this resolve strong and that it's a realistic resolve. So you can take a minute to do that. So we can think Guru Vajrasattva is very pleased. I try to smile at this point so that I can feel that feeling of being pleased. And then Guru Vajrasattva merges with us, melts into white light, and absorbs into us through the crown of our head. So you can think about your Guru, their body, speech, and mind, becoming one with our body, speech, and mind. Just take a minute to think about that on whatever level that you have and understanding you have of that. And then we'll do a dedication. As a result of the 3 times merits of myself and others, may bodhicitta, from which the happiness of all sentient beings comes, be generated in the minds of self and other sentient beings without delay, even for 1 second. And that which has been generated, may it increase. As a result of the 3 times merits of myself and others, may emptiness be generated in the minds of self and other sentient beings without delay, even for 1 second. And that which has been generated, may it increase. As a result of the 3 times merits of myself and others, may I, who am empty form from my own side, achieve Guru Shakyamuni Buddha's enlightenment, which is empty from its own side, and lead all sentient beings who are empty from their own side to that enlightenment which is empty from its own side as quickly as possible by myself alone. And we'll do His Holiness Long Life Prayer. The wish-granting, wish-fulfilling jewel, source of every single benefit and happiness in this world, to the incomparably kind Tenzin Gyatso, I beseech, may all your holy wishes be spontaneously fulfilled. And Lama Zopa Rinpoche's Long Life Prayer. You who uphold the subduer's moral way, who serve as the bountiful bearer of all, sustaining, preserving, and spreading Manjunath's victorious doctrine, who masterfully accomplishes magnificent prayers, honoring the three jewels, Savior of myself and others, your disciples, please, please live long. Thank you, everybody, for giving me the opportunity to practice tonight with you. I appreciate it. And I'll be here next Thursday, same time, same channel. Hope to see you then.